Pelicans of New Orleans to suffer the grueling defeat to the Rockets of Houston. I'm Cheddar Chaz. We got Chris Nim in the building. Let's talk about it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth. Now.
This program is brought to you by the Vicknair Injury Lawyers. Have you been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore? Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give them a call, y'all, at 504-500-1111 for free. Yes, free consultation. They always fight for the win. The Pelicans got a free ass whooping tonight. Chris, what's going on, brother? How everything going with you?
Hey, man, look, dog, blessed. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel 21 games under 500 in my life, you know, so that's just the team we watch.
Yeah, I had to stop saying we got beat and start saying they. All this we lets our shit. Nah, because they getting paid. We ain't getting shit. Y'all getting y'all checks anyway. So we're just gonna talk about it. With the team had several days off. They just lost in spectacular fashion against Denver. Oh, what up, Five? We got Five.
Stopping y'all.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Not the Pelicans winning odds. Some lottery odds popping though. Make sure y'all hit the chat, man. Make sure everybody in the chat hit the like button, subscribe, share the program, send it directly to Dennis Lauscher and Gail. Gail, it says 9:30. Now Gail sleep. Send it definitely Sundowners. But yeah, still. So Pelicans lose 128-111. They had a few days off. And we noticed this is the second time they had several days off, and they come back and they just look ill prepared out the gate. What do you guys attribute these slow starts after practice, after several days off? What do you guys attribute that to in these performances, Chris?
A team that just doesn't care anymore, man. You know, a team that really doesn't have. They just out there playing. You know, they're not playing for nothing. They're not playing for each other. They're not playing to win, right? They're obviously not. They're not playing for their coach. Like nothing is on the line. Most of the dudes right now, you look around, they ain't playing for money. They ain't playing for contracts, right? A lot of these dudes, they already got paid, or they, have some sense of security in the league. So, you mix all that together, and this is what you get, versus a Rockets team that has purpose. Like, at least when the Pelicans ain't really ever felt like they had purpose, but when they didn't have purpose, they had fight, right? They had they had some level of some success. They had talent. They had things that they could throw at you from a talent perspective that really you couldn't consistently have answers for. They don't have any of that shit. They don't have any of that shit right now. Now it's just a bunch of dudes out there just playing basketball. And ain't no different that if you walk into UNO tomorrow, if you walk into your local gym tomorrow and you just look at 4 other random dudes and say, yo, let's hoop. You know what I mean? It ain't no different. Like, it's just pickup right now. And if they win a game, it's not because they outplayed or they out executed or anything like that. They'll truck their shows out. We won a game. But this is what this looks like. And you deserve to continue to be reminded of basically the sins that you have put together over, 6 years now, but specifically this offseason and the offseason prior.
Five, when you look at this team tonight, and they just seemed defeated from the jump ball, honestly. They didn't look like they felt like they had a chance. Like, what do you attribute that to?
I mean, to be honest, bro, what were they supposed to do? Like, again, they're out-coached from the jump. Like, let me read some of the teams that the Pelicans have recently played, right? You're looking at, tonight in the Rockets, Ime, you have Nuggets, one a really good coach, and you got the Knicks, Rockets again, Pacers, Kings, Spurs. Like, all of these teams have better coaches. All of them. All of them have better coaching staffs. All of them. Like, you're outnumbered from the jump, and then you're already bad. Like Chris said, this team just plays pickup basketball. There's no strategy. You're not going to beat the Houston Rockets, the number 2 defensive team, number 1 or 2 defensive team in the league, by just playing pickup. You're not that skilled individually to do so. There were times where you couldn't even get into the paint tonight if you wanted to. Your water was getting shut off from jump. It was a time where you almost didn't get to the 3-point line. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't schematically draw up anything to defeat them tonight. So again, this is just another idea of this team not showing up because they don't believe in the guy that's their leader. Like Willie, like you can't trust Willie Green at this point. Like what can he teach you? Chaz, you had a tweet tonight that said Trey Murphy looks like the only guy right on this team that looks like he lifts weights or is getting. That's because they have no protocol in place for these guys to get bigger, better, stronger, faster, more intelligent. There's nothing in place. And this all falls on Willie Green. Like it's falling on deaf ears. You come off a three-day, what is it, 3 day where you're just off, you're just practicing, and you come out and this is the performance. But this is the same thing you did last week, where you had a couple of days off and you came out and was like, all right, it's lethargic, it's unenthusiasm. Yeah, nobody's listening to that.
Yo, and as several people are pointing out in the chat, the Pelicans are officially number 1 in the tank odds. Yo, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You gotta, after sunshine comes the rain. Yeah. But truthfully, though, I got it. Watching this game tonight, it just confirmed something I was kind of hinting around for a minute. Is that this team is soft. It's a soft team. I think the Pelicans, I think the players are soft as well. And I don't mean soft as in like they're cowards and nothing like that. I mean physically, I don't think they can stand up to the men of the NBA. Like, again, when you look at the Houston Rockets, what's Drew Aaron Holiday looked bigger than most of the Pelicans, like physically bigger and stronger than most of the Pelicans. Herb got blocked about 5 times tonight. It's just Jalen Green, all these guys, they look like Jalen Green gotta have. I don't want dirty Mac him, but Jalen Green must know a lot of people in New Orleans because Jalen Green played against New Orleans and looked like a motherfucking bona fide Hall of Famer. Like it's just like the physical limitations of the Pelicans is just daunting, bro. Like picture this. Think of Brandon Ingram. Think of Dejounte Murray. Think of Herb Jones, right? And I give Messi a pass, but think of those 3, right? Those are your first lines of defense on the perimeter. These are 3 very frail men. Like, and respectfully, they look dainty. These are 3 dainty-looking men. So, of course, a motherfucker like Fred VanVleet, who like stocky and got a low center of gravity, he moving you out the way. Like, Sagoon look flabby and sick. Sagoon moving you out the way. Jabari moving you out the way. All these dudes is getting moved out the way. They look soft. Like Brandon Boston, gotta be 125. Like these dudes just look soft, and the mentality that they play with, it just lends to that point. That's why that's why a person like Jose becomes so effective, because he's one of the few people who, like, again, I'm not saying they're afraid, but he's one of the few people that doesn't care about being physically overmatched, because he's been physically overmatched his entire career. So he knows how to play against the odds with that. But the Pelicans just look, man, y'all got to get some weights in the building. Y'all look crazy. They look crazy. Like they fucking
You're on mute, Chris.
Nah, I want to read y'all something that Grub in the chat, man. Shout out to Grub, man.
Shout out to Grub, man.
Doing the Lord's work, covering the game tonight. He he sent me this earlier, man, and I, this is just, this points at 2 people, right? I guess the players deserve a share of the blame as well, but says they have a former All-Star at point guard, a career 20-point per game scorer at the 2, an All-NBA defender at the 3, a 20-point per game scorer at the 4 currently, and the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year at the 5, and they trail by 20 every damn night. Now I just watched the Magic play the Celtics.
Lost on a bullshit shot too.
I just watched the Magic. No, not tonight.
Well, not tonight. When they beat the Celtics, yeah.
I'm talking about when they played the Celtics and won. Now they wasn't just missing Paolo, right? Because they've been without Paolo since like the first week of the season.
Yep.
they found a way to figure out. Franz stepped his game up. They still continue to win games. Franz goes out.
Mm-hmm.
You down to Jalen Suggs being your best overall player.
Right.
We watching Wendell Carter Jr. and Gogo Batate be guys that you are depending on, not just being productive, but keeping you in games and helping you win games. Like, this is the situation right now. We not talking about with Orlando, for example. If you look up and down their roster currently right now, that's healthy, bro. I mean, you got KCP, you got Anthony Black that drafted for a few years ago, but we ain't even talk about Cole Anthony. We're not talking about Jonathan Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Jalen Suggs coming out and dropping there. It doesn't matter. They're finding ways, no matter who's out there, to, even if they don't win the game, being competitive. You're not going to just throw them off the floor. Right. They don't care. That's coaching. That's a team that has purpose. That's a team that has a plan. That's a team that gives a fuck. Whether we going to lose every single game, y'all going to have to drag us off the court. And they're also being coached well. You can't, on one side, blame injuries and then big up teams like Orlando that are going out there finding ways to win. Even Miami tonight, they beat that same Orlando team. No Jimmy Butler. They don't care. And that's the MO all the time. They don't care who's out there. We learn about new players that we never heard of every single year with Miami, because it's next man up, and they have a system. They have principles. They have things that guys, to even get on the floor, to even be a part of the rotation, to even play basketball, have to be able to abide by. Again, man, the Pelicans just look like a bunch of guys that's just out there that just met. And it's sad where, you got dudes like, Trey Murphy, who's finally getting an opportunity now to show what we've all talked about him being able to do in some respects, but it don't matter. None of it really matters. He's getting better. He's scoring 20 points a night. He's showing what things can look like. He's showing he's going to be a starter in this league. We already knew for years to come, but it does not matter. It's coming in a season, and arguably, which will be his most frustrating season, is his best year right now.
And the crazy part is, I'm sorry, Five, go ahead.
No. Did y'all see KD's tweets over the weekend?
I did.
It kind of lends to what Chris was talking about, like the ability to diversify your basketball, anatomy, right? Like, look at the Orlando Magic. Like, they don't win one way.
Nope.
They figure out multiple ways to win when guys are in and out of the lineup. Like, that's what really good coaches do. I mean, KD was talking about more of a philosophical way, right? About shooting threes, mid-ranges, diversifying your game, getting to the rim, and kind of how people look at the mid-range jumper and that sort of thing. But the ability for Orlando and other teams like that, like, no, they're figuring out ways to win at all costs. Like, Cole Anthony had 30 points last week. Like, they're figuring out on the run, whoever has the hot hand, that's what they're going to. But they all have a system in which they play with. No matter who's in the lineup, they understand what they're trying to do, and they're trying to execute that at a super high level. And they're young. These aren't like, guys have been in the league 10 years. They wouldn't be your OGs in the game. Okay, probably in today's time, right? But they're really high IQ basketball players trying to figure it out, and they're coached really well. We don't have that, and I've been screaming this shit for years. At first, I was blinded by Willie Green. I was blinded by the waves. I say, bro, and then when I found out those weren't real, hey man, I got out the water.
Oh man.
I got out the water, like, bro.
Yeah,
this is a facade.
It was crazy. It's funny you say that, because I know the ball, but Willie Green go. Hey, Willie Green, you think you're slick? Look, Willie Green from Detroit. Jarrell in St. Louis. Willie Green, they ain't nothing but hour flight. Willie, come on. Look, cut the shit, Willie. Put Jarrell Suggs on to him, Willie. Jarrell Suggs needs your help. But the thing that just drives me crazy with these Pelicans, though, particularly, is like, y'all not even entertaining. Like, first of all, it just looks like it's crazy, considering you have I exclude Trey because I thought Trey played well. But let's say you got Herb. Misi's a rookie, so I got to exclude Misi. But Dejounte, CJ, and Herb. It's like all these guys are under contract for years to come. So it's like the people you invested in, because you'll hear talk about the Pelicans, they spend money on their players, they invest in a guy. I don't give a fuck. You can buy a bunch of powdered cocaine. That don't make it a good investment. That just makes you a bad investor. You've invested in a bunch of like bad assets. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's dog. Like, I'm over the Herb experiment. Like, it's not an experiment, but I'm look, don't buy the cow. Don't buy the cow. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy the cow. Look, you got a dairy cow. You got the milk. All right, it's time to make steaks now. Just trade, get them out of here. Because when it really boils down to it, he needs to do a lot more than he's capable of in this system, right? Look, he needs to do a lot more than what he's capable of in this system. Far as like, you almost need Herb to play like Jalen Suggs right now, which is not fair. It's not, because that's not who he was drafted to be. That's not who he is. But considering like the investment, you making him untouchable guys can't have a game like tonight or the last game. Untouchable guys can't play like Jordan Hawkins played tonight. Like untouchable guys can't have the streak that Dejounte's been on. Not that Dejounte, he has some personal issues and things like that going on, but if you're untouchable, if you're held to that standard, then you can't have these no-show performances. Like it's just been terrible. Y'all be sure to smash the like button, man. We got 218 in here. We appreciate y'all. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Smash the like button, family. What you about to say, Chris?
No, yeah, but again though, Chaz, I think part of that is the leader that you're playing for.
Yeah.
The coach that you're playing for. If you feel like the dude that you out there that is diagramming, that is putting together or being a part of putting together game plans, being a part of putting you in a position to succeed is inept. If you feel like that he isn't qualified, if you feel like he is misusing you and others, it takes away a little bit of the fun for the game. Dudes, especially when you paid. Now, look, I think that this is almost like the reverse of Stan Van Gundy, because when Stan Van Gundy got let go, and we heard Brandon Ingram complain, we heard others complain. They would not just be out with Josh Hart. It was others that had negative things to say about Stan. What we heard on our side behind that was, well, he was just asking them to do what any regular human would ask.
The bare minimum. Do your job.
Right. Treating them like adults. He was treating them like adults, and some just said, this ain't fun. I don't want to do this. This is like a boot camp. This is like Army. This ain't like, I'm not gonna turn down the music. What you say, Taz?
Oh yeah, turn that jungle music down. Get the fuck out of here.
So Willie comes in, and Willie's the opposite, right? He's chill, he's calm. Hey guys, do what you want. I really don't care. Yeah, completely different. Players coach, you know what I'm saying? 5 point, he got waves, but as a coach, he can't help you cross the street. He can't, so it's, you're losing, instead of losing fun because of someone pushing you too far, you're losing, I think, fun. You're losing everything that it means. The reasons that you even became good at basketball more times than not, because somebody's teaching you. Right. Ain't nobody teaching you, teaching yourself.
Hey,
you're gonna be a bad fucking team.
Hey, that's funny, because it's always, when we were growing up, I can't wait to be an adult. Then you really had to do the adult things. I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. That's kind of how I feel about the Pelicans. They wanted freedom, right? They didn't understand the responsibility that came with said freedom. Like, you gotta dissect the other team's offense and understand what they're trying to do, and then figure it out. And then the guy that's his job, he's putting it on you to do. Like, I'm pretty sure they're like, oh no, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be an adult no more. It's almost like the Rugrats. I don't want responsibilities anymore.
Hey, hey, look, bro, the grass ain't always greener. The grass ain't always greener. You better. It's cheaper to keep her.
Shout out to Zeke in that super chat, man, with a dub. Man, I think about this team as much as my ex-girlfriend. I changed the schedule to see when y'all come on, bro. Hey, can I get I want Willie Green out of here in 24 hours? Yes, sir.
Oh, for sure.
Give that to Willie Green and tell him I want him out of here in 24 hours. And 23 of them are already gone. You understand?
Oh, shout out to Blue Jay, aka Uncle Phil, with the 5-piece. He said the sooner David Griffin gives Pels permission to dominate, the faster the wheels will come. Yo, I can't believe David Griffin said that, but I can. This motherfucker here, bro. It's unbelievable, dog. But you know what? I agree with both of y'all. The thing that's kind of the driving issue for me after watching what I saw tonight is I do have to say I'm disappointed in the player ownership a little bit and the player responsibility, because as bad as Willie Green is, he's terrible. But just like we know he's terrible, the players know he's terrible. Like, and they've known for quite some time. But Willie Green isn't telling you to not lift weights in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? He isn't telling Zion to not take his treatment serious and take his conditioning seriously. You know what I'm saying? He isn't telling Brandon. I don't know what the fuck he's telling Brandon. I don't think they got each other number. But like these guys just don't seem to have, you know, any atonement for their own shortcomings. And that is a part of coaches holding teams responsible, holding teams accountable. Because like we saw Cam Whitmore balling tonight. Udoka don't always play Cam Whitmore.
That boy was just in the G League.
He was just in the G League. First game back, like a person like that who knows that, yo, every game I play when I'm called up counts towards me being on the team. Like for real. Tonight he put up let me see, 9 for 16, 4 for 8 from beyond the arc, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, no turnovers, no fouls, 27 points. Like these dudes they're just have the richest of talent, and we thought the Pelicans were supposed to have that, but it just doesn't. It's
a bad environment, man. And you know, look, like I think, like, you know, we're all examples of
facts.
You know, you don't have to be your environment, right? Whatever it is, you can persevere through it,
right?
But it's a reason why in most bad environments, only a few get out, only a few make it. You know what I'm saying? Because like people succumb to their situations. They succumb to the things that's around them. And to me, you know, unless you got a bunch of strong mental, you know, individuals, and obviously from what we've heard behind the scenes, that just ain't the case. You just ain't gotta, like, you gotta be hard-headed, bro. You gotta be stubborn. You gotta be delusional to keep moving through bullshit. Pelicans only got a few of them dudes that's on the team.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Right. They really only got it. Some of them ain't even gonna have the, you know, the real runway, as y'all would say, to even really, you know, show that over time. So like that's the issue here. When it's a bad environment, and yeah, I'm with you, Chaz. I do think that guys got to take accountability to figure this shit out by themselves. But when everything around you is bad, it's easy for you to chill out, man. It's only gonna be a few dudes that make it out of there and end up saying, well, shit, I ain't like them.
I remember Martin. Shout out to Martin Long. Martin had a joke. Martin said, you ever go by somebody's house and it's just piss infested? he said the couch is so pissy, you just start pissing on the couch too. He's like, fuck it, everybody else did it. The Pelicans, look, and we just talked about the Pelicans got a nice couch with no house, right? The Pelicans are pissing all over. No, I said the Pelicans got a pallet. It's just, look, shout out to Austin Tyler with that nickel piece. He said the Pals care about organization. Exactly. They just pissing on the pallet, pissy teddy bears, pissy attitude, piss poor performance, just pissy. Just pissy. Bring back them yellow jerseys. Go ahead, Five.
Yeah, speaking of piss, you know, they have poor planning, which means piss poor performance. Like this is what the Pelicans are, because of poor planning and the inability to see the future. I put this at David Griffin's feet.
Absolutely.
Like the times where you were, you know, when you miraculously got through the to the first round and you had that good series against Phoenix. That was a time to sell.
Yeah.
But you couldn't properly evaluate your timeline. You didn't know what you had. You wanted to double down because it was a feel-good story. Like, no.
Right.
That was an anomaly. That wasn't the rule. You thought you were going to be able to do that again?
Mm-hmm.
And you won 36 games.
That's what we were saying.
Like, what the fuck?
So what did you do?
Yeah, what the fuck, blood? You won 36 games.
And you know what's fucked up about it? Like, not only did you double down on it twice, you doubled down on it like 4 times. You better like what were you expecting to happen? This Brandon being injured, Zion being injured, you were able to win 36 games, 40-some games. What was it? 40 what last
year?
49 wins last year. They were in and out of the lineup last year. What's different now?
Man, it's crazy because I was watching Jalen Green, right? And last year they were trying to give Jalen Green away.
Yeah.
And it was like you probably really could have got Jalen Green for Brandon Ingram last year.
Legit.
But this offseason, you call for Sagoon, and they like, bitch, stop playing with me. And then now if you call and ask for Jalen, they're gonna say, bitch, stop playing with me. It's ridiculous. Shout out to Dev. He said, Dev, shout out to our dog Dev. Dev said Levine dropped 37, 5, and 7 on 7 for 9 3-point shooting. Folks said his contract too bad. He always injured. I laugh. Man, and it's crazy because last season, it was like, dog, Levine plays way more than Brandon and Zion. Yeah, the contract is fucked up, but he plays way more. Like, he's available, and it's just crazy, man. I thought we saw a couple positives from a couple might be too many. I thought we saw a positive or two. What did you guys think of Trey Murphy's performance? And I'm going to follow up with Dejounte's performance after that. What did you guys think of Trey's performance tonight? And shooting performance just as of late?
Yeah, man. Nah, I've been saying it's like I want him to fail forward. So he's going to have games where he's going to be really good, right? Cool. That's just him understanding, like, I got to go make it happen because it doesn't have a coach that's trying to get the ball in his hands at all times or involve him in the situation to give him the ball. So cool. You're going to have outburst pause as Trey will, where he's locked in, right? Where he's locked in, he's knocking shit down. Great, perfect, good. But you're going to have the downside of that where he's going to be like over. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want these times to be a learning experience for Trey. Whether it's a win or a loss, it's supposed to be a learning experience. So good for him having a good game. Can you double this up, triple this up, multiple games against elite defenders, a really good defensive team in Houston? Great job. We want to see more of it.
And man, I actually forgot there was no Dylan Brooks. If Dylan Brooks played tonight, the Pelicans probably don't score 100 points. Chris, what have you seen with Trey's progression since the Brandon injury? Because he was shooting poorly. He went to the bench, which is crazy. He goes to the bench. Brandon gets injured, of course. He comes back, and now he seems to have found his shooting stroke pause. What have you attribute to him finding his game and not being a liability out there as he could be when the shot isn't falling?
Yeah, I mean, he's picking his spots, and it's a lot easier to pick your spots when you're not parked in a corner. It's a lot easier to pick your spots when instead of shooting the ball maybe 10 or 11 times, you're going to shoot it at least 16. Like he's shooting the ball 16, 17 times. And it's not because other guys are consistently just, creating for him. It's not that kind of thing. He's having enough opportunities. He knows now currently he is guaranteed. They need him.
Right.
They need him. They're depending on him to do more than just shoot three. It's almost like what it was not last season, but it reminds me of the
John Richardson year.
Yeah, the end of that year, to where he was the second best player. Like down the stretch, it was him, and we were like, man, like, right? They need to realize, like, CJ. This ain't about CJ right now. This is about Brandon and Trey. Like I remember, I think it was a Minnesota game, a game that they had to win. Trey didn't miss a shot, scored like 16 points in the first half, didn't take a shot the whole third quarter. What the fuck? But now, like, when you're getting 17 shots a night, the rhythm is there. Like guys are finding you with the basketball. It's no longer like an excuse to find ways to not find you.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that's good for him because he hasn't, grow up in the chat here. He hasn't been that guy since high school, right? It's been,
Right.
I mean, he goes to Rice, figuring out, his dad wants him to be a, damn accountant, right? And then, he ends up out. Yeah, I'm good at, now I'm good at this. Let me go to Virginia. Learns how to play defense, but like he just the guy still. All right, I'm learning how to play defense. He gets out of Virginia, comes to New Orleans. Role player. Everybody expected him to be a 3-and-D guy. He like, I got a little bit more of my game than that. Now he's finally through the persevering through people right next to him. His own people holding him back. His own coach, the players don't want to find him, don't want to pass him the ball. Shooter, I ain't never seen nothing like it. Shooter, well, dog, that's the first thing. A shooter make 2 in a row.
And they look him up.
We treat him for 6
bro.
in a row.
And
You hit 2 in a row as a shooter. As in my mind, you 6 for 6. We gotta find you. Those are the even games of basketball, Chaz.
This is the game where you're supposed to see Trey Murphy take 30 shots. Like, just
that's fine.
This is supposed to be a game like that. Say shout out to Kobe, man. He can't hit the like button. I started watching the game the first quarter. It looked like a pickup game with no offensive sets and no grit. Yeah, man. It was like, it's funny when you say his dad wanted to be an accountant. I think about when y'all remember Australia Compton when the dude, his name Compton Menace in real life, when they were throwing up gang signs on the bus.
On the bus.
Yeah, this is y'all need to gangbang them books. Like, what? Hey,
look,
like,
let me tell that story for the people that don't know. So for y'all that don't know, not the Strata Compton story.
You're like, yes, I was there, right?
No. Ball head man with tattoos say, yo, can't pay these books. So Trey went to Rice. He went to Rice University. If y'all know anything about Rice University, they're not known for sports. Okay,
well, baseball.
Yeah. Well, okay, baseball, right? But they're not known. They're not known for their basketball or their football program. So if you go to Rice, you either a hell of a baseball player or you smart. So smart as hell. Trey's dad wanted him. He told him. He said, "All right, you go get a 4-year degree. You are gonna make $100,000 a year. Like that's what you go do,
right?
Yeah, we got a plan." And then Trey got taller and Trey got better and everything fucking changed. So it ain't like he ain't like Zion, bro. This ain't been like the plan for him since he was 11 years old. Since he was 12. Like,
he wasn't like a prospect like phenom.
Yeah, he wasn't highly recruited. He wasn't any of that. He's still walk around with that imposter syndrome, dog. Like 100%.
Hey, imagine like your first. Of course, like your NBA game is like the biggest game you'd ever play. But Trey went from like his biggest college basketball game, maybe a couple thousand. Mind you, it was like COVID season, right? Like the NBA was his first time seeing tens of thousands of people watching him play basketball.
I didn't think of that. That's crazy.
Like he had to navigate that part and still was able to be good at this shit.
This organization has done Trey specifically a huge disservice. That's why, even as much as I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm dissatisfied with some of Herb's progression on the offensive end and like physically pause. It's like I still got to give these dudes like their just due for being successful in a situation like this. Shout out to our dog Wahab, man. Wahab just relocated and he wasn't gonna be able to join the live, but Wahab back in the building, man.
Welcome back, Wahab.
Man, my dog back.
Wonder where you been, brother.
Where you been?
Donald said OG two-tone. Yeah, motherfucker tell me that I'm going to the streets. Y'all need to gangbang them books. That don't sound fun at all, man. So shout out to our dog Lito in the building as well, man. Shout out to Lito. Happy holidays, brother. So shout out to, by the way, this show is powered by 4D Energy. Trey, he was on them 4D energy packs, had a very impressive dunk. As soon as he dunked it, I think the score went from down 40 to down 38. It's starting to mount the comeback. Shout out to Theo's Pelicans getting sliced and diced. Go at 5.
Nah, I was just saying, did somebody say gangbang?
Wasting your time, drinking that wine, smoking that smoke and doing that coke, dealing that dope, giving up hope. School is a joke. Gang banging.
Boy, it's smoke. I'm surprised Smoke ain't have on sandals. Talking like that. Yo, we got shout out to Trey Alexander, man, long time member. Tracy, you ready to have the Dejounte Murray conversation yet? Let's see what Dejounte did. Whatever he did wasn't much. 7 for 15, 2 for 5 from beyond the arc, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers, 17 points. Yeah, Dejounte's been very underwhelming, but to keep it short, I'll just say this isn't the real Dejounte Murray. So that's why I ain't really tripping, because I know this isn't who he is and has been. But what you guys think?
No, I think that's fair, right? Criticism is fair, right? Like
absolutely,
right. Like we gotta keep it a buck. Like he's not playing to the standard I think we should hold Dejounte Murray to. Like he's been a really good pro. I don't feel like he's all the way there. That's just my specific opinion, my only opinion. Like he's not all the way there. There's some things that I have never seen him do, and he's doing in the Pelicans jersey. I'm like, all right, something's not right. It just everything either it feels forced, right? Like he's trying to put trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Like that's what it feels like. Like all right, he's just not all the way there. Huh?
He rushed back easily. 100%.
We got it on good authority that he rushed back. He rushed back.
You know, but I mean, but look though, we are not, you know, and to Five's point, we are not a show of excuses.
Right.
He's not playing well, and you know, look on one side, this ain't what he was brought in here to do, but on the other side, a guy of your talent, of your ability. One of the reasons that you are brought in to where you were supposed to lift the team's floor and you were supposed to help them withstand the inevitable, which are 14-1 missing games. It ain't 100% his fault, you know what I'm saying? And you know, look, but he's not. I don't think he's 100% right. There will be a period, and this happens. Like these are the benefits of an 82 game season. There's gonna be a period where he gets hot, a week, 2 weeks. Whatever it is, a month, whatever it is, to where he looks like the dude that they traded for that came from Atlanta. But again, man, like, you know, you playing in piss, right? I mean, that's what Chad said. You playing around piss, bro. Like, it's just like, I mean, if y'all want, listen, man, only the strong can navigate in these situations, man. And I'm not saying that, you know, that he can't, but it ain't for everybody right now. And for a dude like him that's seen places like imagine, you know, dude, he's seen what winning and what structure looks like in San Antonio.
Yo,
great point.
You make a great point, because I was about to say that's why when I say like certain players strive more in a get it how you live system versus like a player I think like Dejounte and like another player, because they so used to nothing but bad coaching. This is all they know. If you Dejounte Murray and you coming from Popovich to McMillan to to Kurt Snyder, like you going Quinn. From Quinn. I keep Quinn. What the fuck, Kirk? I'm tripping. I think about the dude who played for the Hornets.
Yeah.
No, that dude had a crazy game one time too. But anyway, So you going to Snyder, Popovich, McMillan to Willie Green. It's like, you know, you just moved on down to the projects and you don't know how to succeed. Like, you getting jumped every day, taking your lunch money, smacking you on the head. You gotta like figure it out. It's a transitional period. And Rachel said Hawks fans was right about Murray. No. Hey, you know, it remains to be seen, Rachel, because if we got to keep in mind, these dudes didn't really have an off season together, didn't really have a preseason together, didn't really have a regular season together. Like, these last group of games are probably the most games that they've played together in a while. And I do think he's been extremely underwhelming, but I will say that Willie Green doesn't really do, especially a point guard. Willie Green isn't doing his point guard any favors being as terrible as he's been.
Hey, coach, what should I do right now, Willie? I don't know.
Play with force.
Look right. Like, you know, like what? Man, look, watching, and five knows this better than anyone. So somebody told me a long time ago, the fun that you're supposed to have in press conferences, if you ever get a chance, any of y'all that's aspiring to be in media, you want to be whatever. Like, if you get an opportunity to be a part of a press conference or you get a chance to interview a coach, it's supposed to be a learning experience. I'm supposed to be able to not just ask you questions about the game, but I'm supposed to be able to pick your brain to be able to learn more about the game, period. Not just about this game, but the game of bad. You're supposed to make me better, make me smarter. You are the professional doing this day in and day out. I'm an outsider. I don't know everything you know. You play and you coach. So you should have a level of understanding and knowledge to dispel upon me that only a few guys in this world should be able to, give. So the problem is that ain't Willie. If you ask Willie, you could ask Willie a simple question about his thoughts about a certain look of possession, and you get the most vanilla-based answer. And it's like, dog, a fan could have told me that. I'm asking you because I'm expecting detail. So if and it ain't like Willie's trying to hide something. It ain't like he's like, well, I don't want to tell too much because if
I won't give my secret away.
I'm blowing the I don't want to give my secret. That's just who he is. So I'm telling y'all about these press conferences. Watch Mike Brown. You watch a Mike Brown conference, he the same maniac in practices. He the same dude. Pop, same dude. Steve Kerr, same dude. Willie, same dude. So if we see this in press conferences, if we see this in post games, if we see this when you have a civil basketball conversation with, what do you think the players and the dudes are dealing with him day to day deal with?
Right.
Just trying to get better.
Dog, I truthfully stopped going to Willie Green press conferences for that specific reason, because I realized there was nothing he was going to tell me that I couldn't know by myself by watching the game. There was nothing that he can influence me by to say, all right, this is what this is what he was thinking on this specific possession. I went to the first one was a Taylor Jenkins press conference, I believe. The first time I went to see another coach. And I was like, damn, this is what and it was like all of 5 minutes. I said, oh, this is what like an NBA press conference looks like. This is what it feels like. They're asking basketball questions, and he's like almost lighting up to talk about what he thought about specific possessions, rotations. Like, he's not giving away like secrets, but like speaking about basketball. The James Borrego, the one time he got to coach the Pelicans, I asked him a question like, it made me want to ask basketball questions. I was nervous as shit asking Greg Popovich a question. I don't know why. It's Greg Popovich. Like, you better be on your shit. And dog, he gave me a 1 and 45-second answer to a basketball question. Like, all right, well, I might be on to something. I might be in the right place because I got a lengthy answer from one of the greatest coaches in basketball that wants to talk about basketball. You don't get that feeling pause from Willie Green. You just won't.
Oh, I want to answer this just so we can say talk about the roster lineups. Y'all cry about Willie everybody. Well, how can we talk about lineups if we don't talk about the head coach who makes the lineup decisions? You stupid ass dummy! Get him out of here.
Don't settle. Go hard on them dudes. Everybody's trying to play the right way. Salute. Be aggressive.
Just tweaking. Like, what roster, what lineup, what lineup would you like to talk about? Tell me the good one that you would like to talk about. Please, just tell me the good lineup.
Yeah, he like, oh, them motherfuckers. Did you realize that Trey subbed himself in the game and told Messi go sit down, and we got it's the
You're on mute, Chris.
We spend countless hours, minutes, days, months talking about roster construction. We had a whole offseason talking about trying to figure out the good, the bad, the predictable, and the unpredictable with this roster. We talked about the roster as everybody on the team got hurt. What do you mean? What is that? What is there? They're 5-26 now. What is there to talk about? We just talked about Trey Murphy. What do you want to talk about the lineups?
It's like, yeah, we get
what lineups?
We get more Javonte Green minutes. Maybe we could do. Man, get the fuck out of here. I tell you that bullshit. Fuck is you talking about, man? So, like, again, you're looking at the thing. Oh, I got a great question for you guys. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. All right, now with me, as it pertains to Coach Borrego, he's I understand the want for him to, take over as the head coach, especially in the short term. I think I just view the players' buy-in or lack thereof as too far gone at this point. And I say that because, all right, this is a pretty free-flowing offense. It's what paint the great 0.5, whatever, right? It's no real. That's when a motherfucker don't really have a plan. They just call it point. It's like 0.5 offense. Like, I don't know, figure it out, right? Type shit. So, well, my thing is, okay, if you're the players, and we've seen some things, players being passive aggressive on Twitter, shit like that, posting pictures with them and Borrego, but at the same time, you can really do whatever you want to do on the court, on the floor. You're free to kind of do it on the floor. Why don't you run some of those sets? Like, you gotta know a couple of them. Y'all been here for fucking 2 years. He's been here. Why not implement anything that he's trying to teach whatsoever? Like, he would have to literally not have a voice. Like, you haven't heard him say anything. He hasn't given you any pointers, etc. For you not to be implementing anything, that's why I kind of worry that it has a bit more to do with player buy-in as well. And him being here, it's like if you have a bad teacher and but the teacher's aide has been there this entire semester. When the teacher's aide takes over, you still look at them kind of like, well, it was y'all too. Now it's just you here. I ain't tripping off what you talking about neither. Like, do you guys think that that's like unwarranted, or do you think that that's fair?
I can see that being fair, Chaz. I don't totally disagree with you. I can see where it's almost too far gone, and I kind of stumbled upon the same kind of sentiment where, like, if they really wanted to save the season, this should have been happened, right? The Pelicans should have been made this move, salvage something. You had to see the writing on the wall. Now you're almost 30 games in, like, it's too late. And then you're almost giving, if you say you make the move like tomorrow, right? You're giving James 50 games to make something of himself. What if he fails? He's going to be like, all right, am I going to get another chance like Willie got?
Yeah, that's what happened in Orlando, right? Because he took over as the interim, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was his first time, right? First head coach.
Yeah, I think that was his first head coaching.
So, right. Is he going to get another shot at it? So now you kind of limit yourself to potential new head coaches. Hopefully, I really don't want Griff to make this decision, but what other coaches are you looking at as potential head coaches now? Because to be honest, if you believe that Borrego is better than all of them, go ahead and make the decision and fire Willie. But if you don't think so, it's almost as if keep status quo now and then make your decision at the end of the season.
We got 273 people in the chat, man. Let's get some likes in the building. Hit the like button. It's free. You know what I'm saying? We're not selling you no goddamn chalked. Let me stop. I keep stuffing dude out, and I'm gonna keep kicking this fucking back in. We're not selling no motherfucking candy bars. We're not selling no motherfucking mufflers and brake pads. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. This is NWO time. Chris, what do you think about Coach Borrego and some people's like apprehensions toward promoting him?
I think that there are certain guys that deserve to be around a coach that has a plan for them. Yeah. Even if it's for their experience, they need and they're around it, but someone who has complete control, that knows what it means to have a basketball identity. If you ask James Borrego what an identity is, he's gonna talk basketball principles. He's gonna talk a play style. He's gonna talk like this. These are the strengths based off of the roster that we have. This is what we should do well. This is what we will do well. This is what we will sacrifice. Willie's thought of a identity is just exerting effort and energy. And it's things that's not his control, which go against him. Because what happens when the team doesn't play? What's going on here? Yeah, what happens when the team isn't? What is happening? What is happening when the team isn't playing with maximum effort or maximum energy? the first person that they're gonna look at is you. What, you not getting them up to play, Willie? You not getting them prepared. They don't look ready. They don't look ready to fight tonight, Willie. They don't look, because we don't. That's all we know you for. At least I know with James Borrego, there's gonna be basketball ideologies that's out. I can't say that I know of any from Willie Green, and that's part of the issue, and it's out of his control. Willie, you can't control what kind of energy that this human grown-ass man has that you did not. You don't know what time he made it in from the club last night. You can't control how many drinks he had. You can't control the nice lady friend that he had over at the club with the pole. You know what I'm saying? That many of the players like to frequent. You can't control that. You have no control over that. You can try, but you have no
crack,
control.
don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
He's on the pipe. You can't control, how much weed they smoke or none of that. So you have no control. And in this environment, So, but what you could control is, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Guys, these are the sets we're running. Guys, this is our structure. We're running this on offense, every day, this on defense, every single day. And in order to play, these are our principles. We will win and lose by this. If I don't know anything else, I know that James Borrego would at least have an idea. It might fail. It might absolutely be horrible. Yeah. It might be the wrong idea, but it's better than what you have seen.
Yeah. I mean, your boy broke into the building and he beating up the white dude. They're like, hey, Mr. Clark, they beating up Kid Ray. He's beating the fuck out Kid Ray. Five, go ahead and whoop Kid Ray ass.
The Chris point, like, dog, I think a guy like Trey Murphy deserves to get a real basketball coach, even if it is for 50 games. I think Jordan Hawkins would love to see a real basketball coach.
They set a screen for me? Wow.
These guys, like, to maybe if you practice the shots that you would see in real game, like you would know where they're gonna come from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take them in the room. So like we doing surgery, so take them in the room. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
2 doors down.
But no, I think those guys deserve like an opportunity to play for a real coach, man. Willie you can't predict energy. Right, it's gonna fluctuate day in, day out. Like you don't know what that's gonna be like, even in your regular life, right? It's gonna fluctuate day in, day. At least have some principles. That's why I always thought that the idea of him saying like we need to shoot 43s. How? Remember, like on the woods, like when you gonna marry us so I can be there? Like how? Tell me how that's gonna happen so I can show up and watch. Like you motherfuckers never planned on shooting 43s. That was just some shit that you was saying. You don't run no sets to get open threes. You don't run no plays to get open threes. You don't have a philosophy to get open threes. Nah, Cass is just playing pickup, and you just so happen to shoot 43s a game. Maybe.
I damn sure don't need JRE. He went 2 for 4, but I don't need JRE shooting 4 threes. Go ahead, Vi. And you need the right people shooting those threes, to your point.
Exactly, right? Like you would run plays for the right people to shoot threes. If that was the case, like everybody's enamored again with the Golden State Warriors about how they did it. They were getting up a lot of threes. No, they had the right motherfuckers shooting those threes. It wasn't just how many threes did oh my God, broke his leg, used to play for the Clippers. Sean Livingston.
Oh, yeah.
How many threes did Sean Livingston shoot?
Never.
And he shot buku mid-ranges.
Buku
right?
Automatic.
Apparently, he never missed one.
That's what to say.
That's the biggest lie. That's the biggest. That's so crazy, dog. Like, hey, Malik, I literally just watched that. It's free on YouTube. The Inglewood.
Yeah.
Because you can't. You know. What
I'm
saying?
You can't.
Yeah, you can't say the actual name of the movie, but the Inglewood, great movie.
Great movie.
Say my name. Go ahead.
That boy sister was fine. But man, we gonna run a couple of burger ad. We're gonna get to some of y'all fan questions in a minute, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. The Pelicans play tomorrow, am I right?
Yep.
Who they play?
Memphis.
Oh, Lord. Memphis. Oh yeah, Memphis play today though. So
it don't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Wait, what a game at?
Memphis.
Wait, it's on the road?
No, I thought it was here. It's here. I think it's here.
Oh, wow, I'm about to say.
Take all the drama. Get your John Morant player props in now. Go and draft
he about to go play
right now,
bro. This is
right
crazy.
now. Take
Company
all those.
Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media.
Shout out to Coach Corey. He said, please play 5 Heartbeat clip. Nights like this, I wish.
Nice like this. Nice like this.
Man, y'all sound good tonight. We have to go back to say, shout out to Dot, man. Dot says that Dejounte Herb tandem ain't shit. Yeah, defensively, it's been underwhelming, especially when you got Yves Missi, to kind of like cover up for some of your mistakes. You're giving up too many points at the rim, so guys are getting to the rim and they're scoring when they get there. So it's been very disheartening. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you talk about, again, Chris alluded to energy. It's not there. So defense leads with energy. If you're not stopping, the ball from getting to the rack, like there's nothing really else they can do. Yeah, it's been underwhelming. I didn't expect it to be, really great because Herb goes out with a shoulder injury. Dejounte breaks his hand. Like, defense is about continuity. They really haven't had time on task. It wasn't going to happen.
Chris?
Yeah. Shout out to Grub again, man. Being Grub with texting earlier in the probably around the third quarter, he mentioned that he said they've turned Herb into a post defender and taken away his usefulness. And they're taking away superpowers. Like, you gotta Herb is best on the go. Herb is best. Like, you can give him an assignment, but he got to be able to roam. He got to be on the move. If you have Herb stationary on defense, you're taking away everything that makes him great. Because one of his best abilities is to make up for what others on the team lack. You know what I'm saying? It's him being able to do things on the fly, or him being able to rotate properly, or even if he's rotating out of turn, just making the right play. It's things that only Herb can do well. When you got him stationary and you got him in the post, or you got him isolated on one side of the floor, it's taking away from that. And this team, they don't have some of the defensive weapons that they had last year. They don't have to kind of go with that. You don't have a Dyson Daniels, you don't have a Najee Marshall. Like, those things are, or even a Larry Nance, to help in spurts when you went through some of these issues. The roster isn't the same. Javonte Green isn't Najee Marshall, and is only 6'4". Brandon Boston, some of these other guys, they aren't the guys that are coming up, that are off the bench. JRE isn't Larry Nance. Like, you don't have the pieces and the parts that you had last year. When your starting lineup is, Missi, who's still learning, Trey, who still has his issues defensively. We know CJ McCollum, he's gonna, he's a smart defender, he's a willing defender, but he has he has his issues that he'll always have to fight for the rest of his career. Dejounte, give or take what night it is, and as Shaz says, he's not the strongest dude in the world. It's not the same team. So Herb can't do everything, and you damn sure aren't going to be able to put out a good defensive team if you have him stationary, trying to stop a post possession.
Yeah, Javonte Green, he ain't even fucking Thurgood Marshall right now. Javonte Green is terrible. Say, Vine Superreal say, who the fuck is Cam Whitmore?
Oh my God.
Yeah, tonight was probably like the worst thing possible for the Pelicans when you think, because Hawkins just so happened to have a terrible game and Cam have a great game. And it's like, it just makes, to me, the only question is, all right, if you were afraid of Cam Whitmore's injury history, you had to know about I'm giving you credit saying you knew about Jordan Hawkins' injury history. Why wasn't you afraid of this versus being afraid of that? Like, it's just interesting to me. What do y'all think about Cam's performance tonight?
Man, Cam was amazing. we all knew that Cam can hoop. We had long dialogue about Cam Whitmore prior to the draft. I was a huge Jordan Hawkins fan. I thought you needed the shooting immediately. Again, this is talking about the team that you currently had. You thought about Zion. You thought about Brandon. You couldn't shoot the rock. You couldn't space the floor. You needed the shooting automatically. He was a really good shooter in college. You thought maybe that would translate well. Willie Green didn't think so. I would be remiss to even think that Cam Whitmore would have solidified playing time on the Pelicans. Like his development would be as what it is right now, being in the Pelicans uniform. I don't believe so. He might be, stuck in the G League under Willie Green. Who knows? Because his buy-in under Ime has been wishy-washy at times, right? So I don't know. I don't know what it would be like, but at least it'd be athletic. At least it'd be exciting,
Utah is up 11 versus Portland right now in the third quarter. Pelicans have more losses than Utah. The Wizards, fucking O-Block. It is everybody.
Wait a minute though.
Go ahead.
So somebody in the chat asked earlier, when do the Pelicans win again? When's the next win on the schedule?
Let me see
now,
the schedule.
What's funny is they got a back-to-back with the Wizards.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a back.
It's one on the road, one at home.
Yeah. To start the new year, so they got Miami on New Year's Day, and then they play Washington on the 3rd and the 5th. That's it right there. That's it. Listen, I'll tell y'all. By that time, Zion's gonna be playing back. He was playing basketball. Look, if they lose January 3rd against the Washington Wizards. If they lose, who just beat who did they beat today?
Today they beat Charlotte.
If they lose to the Washington Wizards, there's no way in hell. There's no way Gail Benson better come down from the top of the arena like Sting. From the top of the fucking arena with a bat and point it right at Willie Green. It's over. Yeah. It gotta be over. When you talk about your next wins and Zion back,
I don't believe it.
I think they beat Charlotte. I mean, I'm sorry. I think they beat the Clippers.
You think they beat the Clippers?
No. I think what's his name? Harden playing well right now because I think Zion coming back versus the Clippers. So, I'm gonna say if Zion's back versus the Clippers, I think they beat the Clippers. If not, I think they win the home game in Washington and lose the road game. This dude sucks.
Something got to give. Pause. Something got to give. The Washington, Washington, like those are the games, right? We talk about their next win,
and they ain't playing bad either. Look, Washington scored 113.
Yo, Chaz, can you post the can you play the tank situation again?
Oh yeah, I got you.
The picture.
1 second. Here we go.
Think about this. Look at all these teams, right? Pelicans, DC, Raptors, Hornets, Jazz. All the 2, 3, 4, and 5 are trying to lose. Mm-hmm. The Pelicans are the only ones trying to win. That's the crazy part about this. They're actively trying to lose. The Pelicans are the only one trying to win.
Yeah.
And yet you're number one in the tank. Like, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. If I'm them, I'm losing. If I'm Zion, I'm losing. I'm losing until Willie gone.
Yeah. To me, that's how I feel because they're gonna try to the narrative starting to shift a little bit. Like, oh, well, they should tank. It's like, nah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They trying to win. Don't try to shift it like, oh, well, they finally embracing the tank. No. You're not playing. Let me see. Herb 30 minutes. Trey got 29. You're not playing these guys extended minutes in a route in a game where you're getting stumped out when you're trying to win. I mean, you're trying to lose. No, you're trying to win, dog. Like, let's cut the shit. Shout out to Donald, Dr. Donald in the building. He said, what kind of trade you guys think the Pelicans would accept for Zion? I think it's still pretty high. Yeah, I think you're talking about a good player, a prospect, and maybe 3-4 first. Because if you're them and you even if you want to move on from Zion, when you look at what's happening right now or what was happening when earlier in the season before BI went out, it's like this is our only way at relevance. That and like drafting out the ballpark lottery pick. What do you guys think?
Chris?
I mean, look, even if it's a distressed asset, like it still belongs like to me. So I'm not just going to just sell it to you for nothing, for cheap at this point, because like, and that's the uncomfortable, that's the weird thing about Zion, that is that because you've seen like what his peak or what you think close to his peak could look like, it's not easy to just say, all right, we'll trade him away for a first round pick and a salary filler, because even for those 10 games or those 20 games that you get a chance to see it for a year, he looks like one of the best basketball players in the world. There's no other guy in the league that you can think of that's really like that. That's, we're really only talking about injuries and how they take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. And he hasn't even changed his game. It's the same game. It's the same game. He can't, maybe 1 or 2 improvement. It's the same game offensively. And we talk about that dude when he is at his best, is one of the best in the game. What do you trade that for? That has, and not even before you even talk about the negatives that comes with it, like the value on that or what you would be asking for in the market, it doesn't really have one. It's a big question mark on what
it's difficult to even like.
And he ain't old. I mean, we talk about he's 24 years old, right? 20. It's
just turned 24.
Yeah, man.
It was tough, man.
It'd be the Anthony Davis situation all over again, right? Like you're never gonna find an equal value. Any trade that you do is you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose, right?
Like I think your best case scenario is you get a Paul George, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type thing, where like everyone kind of wins in that situation, but it's like, man, what's the chances of that? Like the Clippers probably didn't want to trade Shai, but you traded Shai for Kawhi and Paul George because Kawhi wasn't coming without Paul George. Pause. But so it's just
wow.
Man, yeah, that was crazy. Yes, yeah, that was wild. That was I wasn't at my best. You gotta blow the whistle on that one.
I'm not.
That was a flag. Game Osborne says, one last thing, right? The crazy part about the Zion thing, which kind of pisses you off in a sense, is that every time he pisses you off, the last time you saw him before that, he was doing something incredible. 40 points in the Lakers game. Motherfucker get hurt again. Now I'm pissed. That first Indiana game, this incredible. Motherfucker get hurt again. Now I'm pissed. Like it's such an annoying, like circular thing. Paul.
Hey, bro. I don't think I've ever told this part about this. Lakers game, right? I'm in the locker room. And this is prior to them like letting us know like LeBron or the Lakers are about to speak, like our players about to speak. And like, so they over there, doing what they do. I'm just one of them people. I'm going to turn around because these dudes walking around in towels and shit. And they got just weird people doing weird shit. So cool. I'm going to just turn around, try to have a conversation with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like a real one, right?
Right.
Cool. But I can hear Bron. Like I can hear him talking to other people. And he's like, man, whew. It was getting close.
Getting scary out there.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I know who they talking about, but they're not saying his name. Hence why I even asked the question about Zion, because it wasn't even, I don't think anybody mentioned Zion's name in the whole 5-minute conversation. Like, dog, like he was about to do something incredible. Like he was on his way. And there was nothing they could do.
Nothing they could do, dog.
Nothing, man. Ty Lue even talked about like no matter what, there's no answer for it.
Dog, no, I never forget that fucking game, dog. Yeah. And that's happened twice to where Ty Lue's had that.
Yeah.
But dog, like when you watch a coach go through all of his options, so he empties out the bench, like to say, okay, well, PJ Tucker's normally the option. Well, that's not working. Okay, well, what about Zubac? All right, what about Plumlee? Yeah, okay, anybody? Kawhi? Anybody? Nobody? Fuck it. It's over with. But Gail, look, Gail, you listening? I know you watched the show. Somebody watched the show. Gail, look. January 3rd, January 3rd. It's not that far away from January 6th. January 3rd, if they lose on that floor, your floor, baseball bat, face paint, rope. I'm down from the top of the arena. It ain't that far of a leap. Just make it happen. That's
Boy,
all
that sounded just like January 6th.
No,
baseball bat, rope. Take a shit on Gail desk. Kick down the desk. Take a shit on that desk. Yo, just tweaking back. Shout out to just tweaking. He said, from your eye test, why doesn't Carlo play?
They scared and he lacks fundamentals. Yeah. But I think more than anything, they scared. They scared to really throw him out there for longer than fucking 10 minutes and let him find some type of confidence. But I can't think of any other reason. I
would just treat him like Chuck Diallo. Just run and stick your hand up, bro. We're gonna find you in transition. Like that's all you really gotta do, man. So we got the Zion update for us the last game. Him and Jose. We're gonna close on this note. What think they said about next week? They should be practicing again. Do you think they go through several full-on practices and then return to play, or you think it's as soon as that Clippers return for Jose and Zion? Because they look kind of like ready.
Chris?
No, I think with Zion, they're gonna be extremely cautious. I mean, what's the?
You think January?
Yeah. I don't see. I mean, ironically, I see that Wizards game. I see that being the game. I don't see his first game being back on the road, like because they play Miami on Wednesday. So if it's not Monday and it's not on the road, then the next game that makes sense will be that Friday. And Prospect, I know he hurt, but Carlo wasn't playing when he was healthy. They wouldn't throw him out there. So
I'm trying to wonder what he hurt his back doing. Like what he was fucking lifting the bricks from all the misses. This motherfucker got a serious injury for a person who don't play. motherfucker got a backiotomy. Five, what you thinking, bro? What you think you see Zion or Jose again?
It had to be. I think you see Jose before you see Zion.
That's gonna be interesting.
Zion. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with Chris. I think you bring him back against lesser talent. Right, it's almost like
compared to the Pelicans or lesser talent, like lesser talent across the board.
No, you know how bad that is. Them and the Wizards show up, and the Wizards like, we ain't pussy. Like
we can take these. We can beat these motherfuckers. Hold on,
I'm pussy. No, man, we better than y'all.
Well, Jonas gonna have 40 points, but that's gonna be crazy. But so y'all both think the Wizards?
Yeah, I can see that. I don't see before New Year's. Like I don't see before New Year's happening.
I'm a stick with the Clippers game only because shout out to Chevy. Grubb did say that Zion was closer to returning than Jose, but we've heard this so many times as it pertains to Zion. So I'm gonna say the Clippers game. It's the end of the homestand before you go on the road, and you get everybody at home because you got the Wizards game at home, if I'm not mistaken, and then you fly to DC for the second game. So I don't know if they're gonna want to play, then get on a plane and play the next game. I'm not sure, but fuck, we'll see. But that's been today's show, man. That's been today's show, man. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all joining us. We'll be back tomorrow after they get the Memphis Grizzlies whoop that trick. It's Chris. I'm Chatter 5. We out. Peace.